Hey guys, welcome to the ADMW Winter Special. I'm Koshade. I have a wonderful game little here. This is live, so I haven't actually seen this. Obviously, it's being recorded as it's being played. So this is Park Deck versus Red Dice Diaries in the group stage. And the interesting thing about this game is it determines a lot about who's going to advance and who's not going to advance. We'll just pull up our brackets here. So what we have here is Park Deck right now is sitting at 3 wins and 0 losses, and Red Dice is sitting at 2 wins and 2 losses. It looks like most likely Arxidex and Red Dice have a chance of advancing based on the matches that are played. My cat loves talking, and my guess here is that Park Deck is in, and Powlick, Arxidex, and Red Dice all have a decent chance of advancing. So this game is going to kind of determine that because Park Deck, I believe, beat Powlick, who's second, and let me see here. Did he beat? Yep, he beat Arxidex as well. So if Red Dice can beat Park Deck, he has a decent chance of advancing. Although if he loses, then these guys can advance, and that's that. All right. And looks like they are having some discussion before they start. So because of this tournament, you can only pick one mage for one game, with the exception of one mage. So you can allow to run one mage twice. So some people are choosing to run their weakest mages first. Some people are choosing to run their strongest mages first so they can advance. And it's a really interesting thing. Park Deck saying he's run Beastmaster, Paladin, Necro. Those are all very strong mages. And I'm curious to see if those are his best mages, though. I don't actually know. Unfortunately, I don't know that much about Park Deck's strategy, because I don't think I've seen him in a tournament before. And I'm wondering if Park Deck is waiting to decide on a mage. I'm sorry, I wonder if Red Dice is waiting to decide on a mage because he's wondering what Park Deck is going to choose. That would be a little bit interesting. I don't know if that actually helps you strategically, but it's interesting. And I have some lovely tea, by the way, because my voice is a little bit sore right now. I don't know if it's some sort of sickness that I got when I was at a convention or what, but it sucks. So anyway, that's pretty much our group bracket. Let me just pull this up. Let's just look at some of the other ones really quick. So Jack Smack and Theazers, they're advancing. That's gonna be Jack Smack really has been surprising this tournament. He's I have watched this guy grow from tournament to tournament, and he's become a very strong competitor. Sharkbait's gonna advance. Iridigas gonna advance. There's no questions about that. And Kijin and Sneet, I think I pronounced that right. Sneet are gonna advance there. So really, this Group C is the last stage we really have to determine. Ash is probably gonna drop. I don't see him playing 2 games because the deadline's tomorrow. Arxidex might get his game in. I'm not sure. You got mages yet? Nope. And interesting. Red Dice is playing a little bit of a weird game here, just saying whenever you're ready, just someone load a deck. It's kind of a waste of time here. So anyway, advancing to the next stage. It's a double elimination. So I think it's randomly determined who goes into each bracket. And so if you get eliminated, he goes into the loser bracket. And then you have a chance to advance from there. It is possible. But in general, I'm curious to see who's going to win this. So I think right now Sharkbait has a decent chance. Although I heard he's not here obviously, that he's going to be on like an Air Force thing in the month of March. So I'm curious to see if that's going to affect his focus. Jack Smack, I think, has a really good chance. I actually think Park Deck and Powlick have great chances. Powlick made it to the finals I believe the ADMW Open. Keijin and Schneid, they're very strong mages as well. I mean, I honestly don't know who's gonna make it through this. My bet right now, probably Shark and Jack Smack. Paulik. I don't know. It's a tough choice. Waiting on them to decide mages. This is a very weird situation. Alright, well, I'm just going to cut this video until they do this. Or if I don't, then I forgot to, and you guys should get some tea. Okay. So it looks like we have a 10 channel, 32 life mage. I think that's probably going to be a Force Master or a Necro out of Red Dice. And it looks like Park Deck is going to have a 9 channel, 36. So that's probably Paladin, I'm guessing. I think Priest is 34. It is Paladin out of Park Deck. And Park Deck having 69 cards in his book. Lovely amount there. And Red Dice having 58 cards in his book. And Red Dice does reveal a Necromancer. It looks like he's using the German card for his actual card, the Necromant. Red Dice has a sad day. This isn't actually a bad matchup, necessarily. Now, if he's using zombies, the challenge marker is a nice way to get rid of Resilient. And, you know, there is, of course, the bonuses that light attacks get against, you know, dark creatures. But that's not to say in any means that the zombie brutes or Resilient is not still very good. Getting some tea there. So, I mean, this match can go a bunch of different ways, and and with the Paladin right now, because of his training in both the War and the Holy, you can see a ton of different varieties come out. You can see them play traditional priest style, and sort of do like a Temple of Asura, or do some sort of Battle Forge build up. Or you could go with the banner style, which lets you sort of get in instant reinforcements exactly where you need them. Or go with that sort of economy game. But his war training allows things like Goblin Alchemist and Ballista and stuff like that. Not to mention equipment like the Harshforged Plate, which Harshforged Plate against, you know, a Dark Mage that wants to curse you a lot is pretty sweet. So, should be a good matchup. Let's just see what happens here. So we're advancing past the quick cast stage, because nobody wants to play the first quick cast. We're going to see main action. Ooh, and he's going to summon something. Meditating Monk. Okay, so this is something we're seeing a lot out of Force Masters and Holy Mages. Even non-nature or non-arcane, we're seeing this. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's see what Red Dice does. Again, apologies if my throat sounds a little scratchy. Oh, okay. And so Red Dice is going to open with a Death Fang. It's probably someone Dark Fiend. But it has a decent amount of health, and it's fast. Those are some of its big things. And with the piercing one trait, making Eternal Servant, which he doesn't do, is actually really useful. Mana Crystal coming out of both of them, just ramping up their economy a little bit. So, that's the end of the first round. Very interesting opening going Death Fang. Usually you see some sort of Graveyard or Libro, or double mana crystal. There's a ton of different options in that card you could do. The creature first, sort of as a, I don't know if you're going to rush me or not, but this is a great creature because if they choose to like move 2, you can instantly have a creature around if they choose to move another one. He's also not bad at putting pressure on, and if this forces a banner earlier, or forces the banner to pop earlier, I should say, it's really nice. So I mean, if he moves 2 and then moves 1, that might force the banner in turn 3, as opposed to making it pop in like turn 5 or 6, if he's choosing to go that route. So let's talk about what's going on with Park Deck really quick. So Meditating Monk, this is an awesome card because basically you gain that channel through this guy for a lot of mages, or for 2 mages or 2 schools, 1 spellbook less than the Mana Flower or Mana Crystal, but it's also 1 mana less. And on top of that, you get the ability to have a 2 dice attack. And I've used many times the Eagle Strike, and surprisingly, it does some bit of damage, which is really nice. Like when basically you're at the point where channeling doesn't matter anymore because you've got what you need, and the next 2 or 3 rounds are going to determine the match. It's nice just to have him go in there and be able to do something. So that's a bunch of reasons why Meditating Monk is awesome. Not to mention it's a mind creature, so Force Master is going to love it. Save a spellbook point. You get another creature, which is very rare for Force Master, and you get it for 1 mana less. So you know, while Park Deck is at 10 channel, he's gonna get that extra mana as if he had 11 channel this round. So in a lot of ways, both of these mages are even on channel now. And honestly, I haven't really seen many people snipe this guy. I've seen, you know, the Deathlock and the Pestle, but that's not really a good counter to this because you're investing a ton of mana just into this. It's not really worth it. I guess against Siren it might be worth it. But yeah, I mean, even if you're running, as I said, like Siren or something like that, you might even consider Meditating Monk because compared to Mana Crystal, it's pretty dang good. Side note, Mana Flower is also decent in Siren if you want to run Tsunami. Going on to the stage, so we're going to see Deathfang double move, and again, this is putting pressure on Park Deck. If he chooses to banner now, he's going to think about popping it early, I think. But then again, we haven't seen anything like that, because this is such a non-committal play that I'm curious to see what he prepped to counter it. Alright. So Red Dice is going to summon another Deathfang. Just getting a bunch of canines together. Skeleton canines. And the pants going on. You gotta rock the leather pants when you're a necromancer. It's like the crow all over again. And this is gonna be Park Deck's turn. Okay, so I'm really curious what he's gonna do here because this is gonna determine a lot about what Park Deck's probably gonna do the rest of the game. Okay, so we see a Battleforge. This is a very typical thing out of a Paladin because, I mean, really equipment is a big deal for the Paladin. A lot of what makes the Paladin strong is his equipment. And this could be a lot of stuff. Ballista, maybe? I don't know if it's lagging or if he's taking his time for dramatic effect. Probably not Ballista because it could be Ballista still, actually. No, we're going to see the banner. Okay. So he chooses to do the banner. And this is out of range of these Deathfangs for the next turn. Even if it is in range, they're probably not going to be able to kill it. So, I mean, even if he gets 2 rounds of channeling out of this, he still gets 2 full actions of summoning. And he's instantly able to fight these guys. Now, if the Deathfangs just stick around over here, then this Crusade Banner is just going to channel like crazy. Okay, so we're in upkeep here. We're seeing a lot of good stuff out of Park Deck. Basically, this Battleforge is an extra action and an extra channel, and this Crusade banner is worth 2 actions for the price of 1 quick, but it's worth 2 extra channel as well. So Park Deck's kind of, if you're looking at this accurately, you get 1 from the Meditating Monk, 2 from this, 1 from the Battleforge. So we're kind of looking at a 14 channel usable Paladin right now, with this extra action and of course this. So Park Deck set himself up for a great long game, and he has the option to kind of just win in about 5-6 turns, depending on what Red Dice can do. So, out of this Battleforge, we could see a whole bunch of stuff, but it's probably going to be leather, or it's going to be like Champion's Gauntlets. My guess is that this is just going to be the prep stage. He might be worried about the Death Fang coming to get him, which the Piercing 1 might make him want to take something else. But overall, I doubt that he's too worried about this Death Fang here. It just doesn't do enough damage right now for him to be nervous about it. 2 is Paladin. The banner, though, it can be dangerous. Get some more tea there. Alright, deployment phase. Let's just see what we're going to see on the Battleforge. We're going to see some leather. A very classic thing. There's no other pants, so literally, if you're choosing leather gloves, or these are promos, leather belts, leather or the leather boots, of course, you might as well just pick pants first in your spellbook building, because there's no other options. So as opposed to belts, gloves, and boots, choose that. And we're gonna see him quick ask himself. This could be a lot of stuff. I doubt it's an eye for an eye, but it could be some sort of rhino hide. It could be something to, like a bear strength or something like that. Basically something to mitigate this is probably what it is, because he has 1 armor. With 2 armor, this thing's doing on average 1 damage. Oh, and he summons a Temple Sentry. Oh, that's interesting. Temple Sentry is a great creature. Red Dice enchants himself. And the Skeletal Knight. This is a cool creature. I would recommend this for any dark creature. He's a great bodyguard, but he also forces the opponent to, pull out Surging Waves and stuff like that. And he's going to choose not to make an Eternal Servant from the looks of it. Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. The idea is, are you going to float that 13 mana when you're in danger or not? And so sometimes lower level creatures are better. Meditating Monk's going to give an extra channel. Extra mana. And it's all Death Fangs from here on out. So with the armor 2, basically he has 2 armor against the Death Fang. And it looks like Red Dice is going to choose to move both the guys here. So he's going to gun for that banner. And this is what I like about Red Dice's strategy right now, is basically, hey, if you don't pop this, I'm going to kill it. Which I dig that a lot. Losing the banner is decently harmful if Park Deck lost it. And it looks like we're going to end this round here. Yeah, Biblo Filter, he actually has made Death Fangs, in my opinion, more popular. He ran it in a bunch of tournaments, and I've seen him use it to great effect. And Red Dice is definitely using this to put the pressure on. Okay, so this banner's at 4 mana now. Park Deck has 19 mana, so basically he has a total of 23 mana that he can use if he wanted to pop this banner right now. Some good choices would be Knight of the Red Helms. You could also see something like a Light of Dawn, and then like, was that an Allendale, I think you could probably afford? I think it's 7 mana. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, or you could do, what did I say, 23? Yeah, I suppose you couldn't do something like 2 Guardian Angels, but you could do like a Guardian Angel and a Knight of Red Helm or something like that. That wouldn't be bad. Especially with the Necromancer, he probably has Chant of Rages. You probably want something that's Psychic Immune. Not to mention the 3 armor against Death Fangs is going to be pretty good. Although Knight of Red Helm doesn't get the bonus against Death Fang right now, because the Skeleton Knight. So Red Dice here, in my opinion, should see if there's going to be cards placed in Crusade Banner. And if there is, maybe don't plan to kill it, but expect there to be 2 more creatures here. Now, do you go after the Paladin here? Do you run up and kill the Mana Crystal? Ugh, this is a little rough. I don't think you can win a straight up fight if Red Dice chose to engage this group over here. So I think the better option might just be to kill the Mana Crystal. Because by the time these creatures are over here, you can get your Death Fang here. I don't know. It's a little rough. A little rough there. Partey puts a card in the Battleforge. That indicates he may... Okay, so it looks like Park Deck is going to cast Leather Boots on himself, putting it below the pants, because that's where it should go. And it looks like we're going to see a Guardian Angel come out. Great choice. And out of the other guy, he has to gain that 4 mana back. We're going to see Castiel. This is why the Paladin is so strong right now. We see the Battleforge supporting him. We see a few big creatures. And of course the Centauri, which has a place. And of course the Paladin himself. Right now, Park Deck is at one of his strongest points, creature-wise, because he just popped the banner. So right now, Park Deck, he should take advantage of how these Death Things are going to work. Red Dice might, in my opinion, want to retreat, because this is the strongest he's going to be. As you can see, Park Deck's at 1 mana, so his mana's done here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'll step out for a minute here. Looks like some stuff happened. I'm not exactly sure I was waiting. But Necromancer seemed to advance. Put on a Cloak of Shadows. And we saw a Chant of Rage getting revealed. Now Cassiel is not active. I guess is what they're talking about. It's not active, so this Dissipate's going to be wasted, unfortunately. And this thing's guarding, actually. So that means Cassiel can't even... Like, Cassiel doesn't have to attack the guard, so pretty much Cassiel would move here and then cast a spell. Little bit of a blunder here, but... Yeah, Chant of Rage is one of those new spells from PVS, so... It's one of those blunders you're going to have because everyone's still learning how to use this. It looks like the Paladin enchanted himself. These could be a ton of stuff, and my guess, Bear Strength Rhinohide. I guess there could be a Akiro's Favor Bear Strength. I guess it's something like that. I don't really see F or an I here. That's what I'm saying. Temple Soldier is going to keep guarding. I'm guessing that Park Deck doesn't want this guy to just run up and just hit the Paladin. And this Guardian Angel is actually going to be a really good choice. With all these creatures here, especially a Skeleton Knight with defense, you want a defending creature to attack a defending creature. Same thing for Red Dice back, because if both of them can make a point moot, then whoever has the advantage otherwise can start gaining a lead there. Not to mention if you have more creatures to follow it up with. Park Deck would want to use the defense here so that he could follow it up with other creatures attacking. Whereas if the Guardian Angel uses its defense, it's still flying, so it's not in as much danger. Granted, Eye for an Eye, or sorry, not Eye for an Eye, Chant of Rage is a great target for Guardian Angel. Forces you to attack something that's guarding, maybe, and you can do all sorts of fun stuff with that, including not having the Guardian Angel guard itself, so you can't actually heal that 2 damage, which is a big reason why Guardian Angel rocks. Alright, looks like Death Fangs are going to guard then. That's going to be that. Listen, Cassiel can't actually attack the Chant of Rage because of these guarding creatures, so it has to move, if I remember. It has to move, but then it can do whatever it wants. So if this Skeleton Knight was actually here, it would have to move 2, which would waste its action. But a little unfortunate here that these guys are guarding, and it's Park Deck's initiative. So that would be this ideal thing. Is activate Cassiel, move 1, and then cast a spell, because that's probably what we want Cassiel for. So, so basically these are 2 great choices out of the banner. Because Guardian Angel and Cassiel, they're both flying, they're both ages. And against this all-land group, and Necromancer especially, which Necromancer kind of struggles with flyers, this gives you the advantage of you can be wherever you want to be. Alright, we're going to take a second here. Alright. Okay, so... let's just see what happens out of this battle for. It just could be a bunch of stuff. It could be a weapon. Champion's Gauntlets. Okay, so this is a very telltale sign that he's either going to quick cast a wand or a weapon or a hand slot of some sort, or next round he's going to cast it, because this is one of those protection spells you want to have. Also interesting enough, one of these could be an armor ward. That's not completely unreasonable. Moving on to quick casts. Everyone passes their quick. You only use your first quick cast later in the game. Like next round, for instance. Okay, so it is Park Deck's turn to use a creature. Let's see what he does. Okay, so he's going to choose to pass it. Kind of pass it by using Meditating Monk, going up to 10 channel. Interesting enough, there's no spell casting Castiel. Or, I'm sorry, there's no spell assigned to it. So, it's interesting. Flame Blast going down on the Guardian Angel. It is Aegis 1, so it will only roll 3 dice. And it gets 2 damage and a burn. That's not bad. And keep in mind with the Cloak of Shadows, it's still out of range of the Paladin right now, so he'd have to move into range of these creatures if he wants to do something about that. And the Guardian Angel can just guard to heal at 2 points. And the burn, we'll see what happens with that. But this isn't the worst thing for the Guardian Angel. But I am curious to see if this gets focused down somehow. And Castiel not having a card is means there's no cure coming out or anything like that. So Partech is going to guard with the Guardian Angel, landing it, and removing its 2 damage that it took from that Flame Blast. So we see the Gravicore go down, landing Castiel and landing the Guardian Angel. So that's a big deal. Now these guys are very open, and flying it's not a cheap thing. So taking away from 2 creatures is worth some mana there. It looks like the Skeleton Knight is going to guard, actually. Interesting. I'm not sure that's the right call there, but this is going to force Castiel now to move over and attack the Skeleton Knight. So, I mean, basically these 2 guards are now probably not going to get used. And this is going to make Partech think about what he wants to do. He's not going to. He's indecisive. Temple Sentry is going to go down here, and then is going to guard. That's going to send the Death Fang in. So basically this is going to be 2 armor. Not that it matters here because he rolls all crits. And he gets 3 damage on this dude. That's pretty good. This dude's almost dead, so that opens it up for all sorts of possibilities. And Temple Sentry goes back down to 1 armor. He does counterattack with 1 damage. Rolling 2 dice. So, all around, this is exactly what you want Temple Sentry for. You spend 5 mana on it, he takes some hits, and then dies. It's pretty sweet. And compare that to like a block or something. He's pretty efficient. And awesome. He's great to bring out with your main action as well, because you're basically trading your main action for a guard. That might be reasonable. So now it's Partech's turn again, so he moves his Paladin down. What is he going to do here? So the Paladin's going to activate his Quick Cast, then cast Pillar of Righteous Flame. But he still has another action. If he wanted to Quick Cast something. I guess he's going to do nothing with this action. Because he went down and then just used his Quick Cast to do that. Partech might be a little bit nervous here. He's going to choose to go after the Necromancer. Interesting. I guess there is 1 armor, so 4 dice. Gonna get 3 damage on average. Gets 3 damage. And no daze. Interesting enough, I'm curious why he chose to attack the Necromancer when there are 2 other creatures here that could get dazed. Whether or not it's good or bad, I'm not sure. Regardless, he got some damage to the Mage, which is good. Looks like the Death Fang's gonna walk in. Is gonna attack this Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel's probably gonna dodge. And let's see. That was just a whole bunch of stuff. Should be 2 dice. That was a great roll. Too bad I can't keep it because it's everything wrong about that. So let's do this defense here. 8 up. Gets the 8 up. We're going to see a 3 dice counterattack. This guy's going to go away. Waiting on the counter strike from Guardian Angel. And this guy's going as well. And our 3 dice, we're going to see 3 damage out of that, putting this death thing down to 6. And Castiel has to attack the Skeletal Knight. So what's going to happen is he's going to attack him. A defense is going to happen, or attempt to happen, and then the counterattack for 4 dice. And of course, it's not flying. So this Castiel might actually die next round. It's a very good chance. This is nicely played by red dice here. The 1 dice judgment attack. Castiel definitely gets in your face and just starts judging you with all sorts of words, trying to deal 1 damage to you. Love that attack name. And looks like the Skeleton Knight isn't going to defend himself, and then the Judgment's going to bounce off of the Skeleton Knight, probably because he's undead and has green eyes and a big green sword, so he's not afraid of the Judgment. 3 dice in the counterattack, getting 3 damage. I'm sorry, 4 dice in the counterattack, only getting 3 damage. And that's not ideal there, but it is what it is. And we're done with this action phase here, so we're going to go on to part 2 here. Thank you guys for joining us for part 1.